Wife used me as an ATM and in the meantime cheating, I have no choice but. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I woke up this morning, confronted her about it, asked her if there was anything she needed to tell me, and she fessed up to having been talking to her ex-boyfriend. To preface this, our marriage has been pretty rocky about the past 6 months. I will admit that I have definitely not done my part as her husband to meet her emotional needs, as I have been grinding away at work. In January, I personally took the initiative to seek therapy to better help me explain my emotions and feelings to her, and I was in therapy for 3 months. I'd say it worked, as we seem to have gotten better as a couple from March to April. The base of our issues are financial and emotional expectations not being met. I am a programmer. I work a high-stress, high-paying job to provide for my family, and due to the nature of my job I would get home most nights, eat dinner with her, hang out for a bit and then squirrel myself away in my office to decompress. In April, we again sat down and explicitly laid out expectations to one another, and hers was that I needed to come to bed at the same time every night and be more present, among other things, pick up a bit more around the house, laundry, etc. etc. I took her words to heart and seriously tried to fix my behavior. I struggled the first month but got into the swing of things by June and into July. Stuff seemed to be going well, and then I left for some training in July. It all seemed to implode while I was away at training. She had overspent like crazy while I was gone, but suddenly needed space, and it wasn't helping anything that I was away from her. She quit her stressful job without even telling me, and I was pretty pissed off because she was just unilaterally choosing to do things that impacted both of us. I get back and she is telling me that she was upset I wasn't supporting her in doing what she thought was right, and that she figured out what she wanted to do. She mocked up a list of all the things she wanted, not even taking into account the added pressure I now felt, being the sole breadwinner. We even went out to dinner on my birthday and it devolved into a fight about her and her happiness. You can read how I discovered the emotional affair in the above linked post, but the long and the short is that this morning when I confronted her, I got to spend 4 agonizing hours on the receiving end of trickle-truthing, or whatever it's called, before she finally admitted that she had been messaging him on and off for months. She told me that she still has love for him, like a soulmate pull, and that due to us being on rocky road she had just continued talking to him and confided in him the problems happening in our marriage. He is fucking engaged. The more I dug into her story, the more was revealed. Nudes were sent back and forth for, what she tells me, the last few months on and off. The most recent time was last week. She flew to see her mom in March for a little trip, and while there, her ex picked her up on her last day before her plane ride out in the morning, and they had breakfast. He took her to the airport and she told me that they kissed before she left. I'm so fucking lost. We have no kids, but I make about 85% of the income. Don't know how it would work out divorcing and splitting shit up. I'm so scared. I don't want to have to start over, but I don't know if I can ever look at her the same. She still loves this guy and he obviously still loves her. I reached out to the AP fiancé and told her. Of course AP is denying the nudes and kissing and such. I'm just kinda in shock and fucking lost. Well, what a whirlwind of 24 hours. I appreciate all of the comments on my last post. I have read every single one, and the consensus is to go ahead and cut my losses. I am at this time leaning more towards that. If she can't even walk on a gravel road 1.5 years in, how can we ever be able to cross the mountains that will inevitably come in a lifelong relationship like this? Question mark. Can still admit I am somewhat lost, but I'm actively trying to work through it. My wife and I had another discussion where I cross-checked what she was saying to me and what the fiancé of the AP had told me. Most of it lined up, except the AP was of course denying everything. Some more of it had come out. She had been in contact with AP after solidifying the dates of the trip to see her mom. I talked with her mom and my wife did in fact do what she said she was doing with her mom while there, except for the morning of her flight. She had been in contact to see AP if his work schedule lined up, and apparently it happened to. So they drove around and smoked pot and talked, and then when he dropped her off at the airport, he said, "Where's my kiss?" And in her words, I met him in the middle. She does seem remorseful, and I'm sure some of it is genuine. I believed a lot more of it was genuine until she said that she realized what she did was wrong and wants me to forgive her because, and I quote, "reality has hit." You know what I mean? I roll back into my fucking skull. My response was that the reality is that I literally paid for her to go and kiss another man. On that front, she is pretty adamant about nothing happening beyond kissing, but again, only her and AP know what really happened, and I've dug and the answer has always been that nothing else went on. Now, on to next steps. I reached out to a divorce lawyer and he quoted me about $1.5 thousand to get the papers and a no-fault divorce drawn up. Is going no fault the best option, or should I pursue the at fault? I don't have much evidence other than a screenshot of her snap streak and a picture of the guy. I looked up the 180 and I'm following what it says to do. She said that she wanted me to be angry and upset and all of that because that way she would know I want this relationship to continue. Fact is, what I want is changing on the hour, so I don't really know what to do and how to treat her. She keeps saying I love you to me. I don't really love her right now. Is it okay to not say that back to her? Question mark. And finally, the 180 mentioned that I shouldn't bring up or mention the relationship or the future or anything, that I should only talk about it when she is ready, because she needs to be the one leading this card and putting in the effort. It's not on me to change. Ike, still kinda lost. Well fam, I did it. Told her I wanted to separate. Thus ensued possibly the most intense gaslighting and psychological manipulation I've ever been privy to in my life. She has somehow twisted it in her brain that I am the bad guy for not wanting to try and reconcile, that I don't think our marriage is worth it. Whatever makes her sleep at night, I guess. Had a text waiting for me when I woke up this morning from her grandmother telling me how surprised she was to discover that my love for her granddaughter was too shallow to work through this issue. Fuck that. I didn't cheat on me, her granddaughter did. I fully own my part in the conditions that led my wife to make this choice, but I did not make her make that choice to cheat on me. I told her that I deserve to be with someone that doesn't cheat on me, and that I can trust unequivocally, and that her granddaughter deserves a partner that is going to trust her completely, and that I never will again. Was told that I have trust issues I need to go to therapy for because trust can always be regained. I just don't want to put in the work. I know what I have to offer someone and I want to be with someone that I don't have to change for. That me being me is going to be enough and actually appreciated. My wife doesn't really like any of the hobbies that I entertain myself with. Going to draw up the divorce agreement with her hopefully this week. We are both young, very little shared debt, no kids, no house. Should be pretty straightforward. I'll update you guys after the papers are signed. Wish me luck. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.